Behind the Shades.
Online dating is a platform. It's definitely a platform that I think everybody should use. But again, not taking things personally. And I think that people need to, because you can like buffer with it, just like people buffer with TV, they buffer with alcohol. You could buffer and be like, swipe this and that all the time. But if you just kind of set time in your schedule and say, you know what, I'm just going to do this 20 minutes a day. I'm going to drop in over here. And then you do it. You know, you don't have it like all consuming. And then, like I said earlier, you can meet people anywhere you go. So that's one avenue. And then as you get out into the world, practice flirting, practice smiling at people, smiling at men. If you find someone attractive, smile at him and don't look away. He'll love it because he's not used to it.
What are some other ways that women can do that? Because I totally agree with the smiling and the eye contact. Is there any other behaviors that we can assist them with to let them know that, hey, handsome hunk over there, I think you're someone I want to get with?
Well, like I was saying earlier, like don't assume that, listen, guys can be kind of dumb sometimes. I don't want to say the word dumb, but what I mean is like you could literally be talking to someone and like you think you're flirting back and forth, and then he doesn't ask you for the number, and then someone else may go up to him and be like, man, she was so flirting with you all night. And you could be like, she was? I had no idea. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I mean. Like, don't assume that every man is just, they can be shy too. Like, and it's okay. And it's okay if you put yourself out there. It's like building a muscle. Even if you put yourself out there and he says, hey, you know, I have a wife or a girlfriend. Okay, great. Tell her she's a lucky, lucky woman. That's it. Like, I think we need to use our voice. We need to ask for what we want. We don't, like, we have to go for it.
I think sometimes it's the fear of rejection. That's probably the best thing I can offer, because women, probably just some women, don't want to put themselves out there and be rejected. And then some men don't want to be rejected. But what I try to tell people is that, hey, I've been there, done that. This woman I've gone up to and they said no.
Right.
And that's perfectly fine. They're within their right to tell me no, regardless if they're in a relationship or not.
Right.
But I think, and it's something that you touched on earlier in this conversation, is that we take dating, especially early on, so personal, right? If it's one date and done, what did I do? Oh my God, how can he do that? How can she do that? Or if it's something, let's say you've been on a few dates and there's that intimacy aspect and you don't hear anything in a couple of days and you're like, was I good enough? Did he like that move I did? Does she, you know, there's all these things that there's like this reality that we create in our minds, but it's just that it's in our minds. Do you experience that with some of the people that you coach?
Oh, definitely. Well, nobody wants to be rejected, right? And part of the dating process is you're going to be rejected. It's just part of it. Like, not everyone's going to like you, just like you're not going to like everybody else. Right. So you just practice and you don't take anything personal. And I liked how you said, because I was going to ask you, have you ever asked out someone and they said no? Guys get rejected all the time. Right. So ladies, if a guy has the balls to say, even if you're not attracted to him, like throw him a bone and just say, but thank you for asking, you know, like just be kind about it. You don't have to be like nasty and be like, no, get away from me. I mean, it took balls for him to come up to you and say that. But let's talk about, I think it's a good conversation of when to sleep with somebody, you know, like when to sleep with somebody. And really the key is to make him wait, my friends. I think that people have sex way too early because what men and women are just so different. Like we're very, I mean, you give a woman an orgasm, she thinks you're in a relationship. Like you guys are like together. Seriously, right? Like,
oh Lord, please help me.
But you know what I mean? It's different than a man, right? Because women are like, we're like a slow fire that you're like tending to. So if you're able to really bring her there, that's something special. But in the end, what about if we got back into like longer courtships, like actually getting to know somebody without throwing, you can like setting boundaries. I think sometimes women get talked into things because they're having fun and the passion's there. Listen, we meet people sometimes and we're like, man, the passion's there. We want to like rip their clothes off. We both feel the same way. We know we probably shouldn't have a couple cocktails. Then we do, and then we regret it. It's like, why did I do that? And then sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. And it's really, again, not something personal. He could have thought, you know what? I don't think I really knew her, or like whatever. Because when we're dating, we need to have conversations about, are we going to be dating other people? Like, so when Michael and I got together, probably on our 6th date, he was like, I don't want to be online anymore. I just want to be with you. I want to be in a relationship. I agreed. And that was that. We were on the same page. I think people make assumptions, because just assume that if you are online dating or anything, assume that this person is dating a lot of people until you have a conversation, And so that's why it's important to restrain, my friends. Have a self-pleasure practice. Definitely have a self-pleasure practice and try to restrain from having sex too early. I don't think nothing good has ever come out of having sex too early.